Hi, it's me, Chio. Welcome. If you notice, for the past 2 weeks, I haven't posted any new videos. That's because with YouTube's new regulations, I had to sit back and think about the kinds of videos I was making. I had to make sure I was delivering quality content that I and my subscribers appreciate. I hope you missed me even just a little. That means I'm doing something right. Just to update you on my book, it's in the beta reading process. This means I'm moving according to my schedule, which is a huge relief because after going through some health issues, I was afraid I was going to be way behind schedule. But here I am. So in line with where I am in the writing process, this video is going to be talking about the beta reading process. There are so many things to cover on this topic, and I don't think I can cover them all in one video, so I'm just going to leave a summary. So if you want to become a beta reader, if you already are a beta reader, or if you're thinking of getting your manuscript beta read, this video is for you. So first things first, what is a beta reader? A beta reader is simply a reader who reads your manuscript for free before the editing and publishing process and gives you feedback. Sounds simple enough, right? So let's get into number 2. Why do we need beta readers? Well, if you want to make sure readers like your book when they buy it, you should get beta readers. By listening to the opinions and critiques of beta readers, you're able to see what parts of your book work and what parts don't work, and save yourself from a lot of problems during the sales process. Number 3, when should you get your book beta read? You should give your book to beta readers before the professional editing process. That way you wouldn't spend money getting your book edited only for you to have your beta readers tell you that the story isn't working. But that doesn't mean you should give them badly written work. You should first make sure your book is edited to the best of your ability before giving it to beta readers. Even if they know that at this stage there could still be mistakes in your book, no beta reader wants to read a work that has typos at every single line or paragraph. That takes away from the story, making it hard to beta read your book properly. Number 4, when should you find your beta readers? You can find your beta readers during any point before the professional editing process, but the earlier the better. Creating a list during the writing process is wise because you have time to get to know these beta readers and make adjustments in case anyone wants to cancel beforehand. Number 5, where can you find your beta readers? Beta readers are readers, so you can find them literally anywhere. You can ask readers you already know, maybe family members or close friends, but because you want a variety of opinions, it's wise to search online for these views. You can find beta readers on writing and reading forums and other online sources where readers and writers use, like Goodreads, Wattpad, Instagram, or my personal favorite, Twitter. Number 6, how many beta readers do you need? Every writer has their own opinion on what number works for them, so I'm not going to give you a figure to live by, but I'm going to tell you what you should not do and my personal opinion, and explain the different aspects so that you can decide for yourself what works best. So what you should definitely not do is get just one beta reader. There is no variety of opinions, so you cannot really see how your readers will react to your book after. Some writers prefer having like 3 to 5 beta readers because there is variety and you can avoid the pressure of having so many people looking at your book. But the disadvantage is that because there are just so few, if anyone drops out, it's hard to find a replacement and you're left without so many opinions. You might be left with just 1 or 2 people at the end of the day. Some writers, on the other hand, prefer having 15 to 20 or even more beta readers. This is sure to give them variety of opinions, but the disadvantage here is that it's hard to manage. Not every writer can easily manage the opinions of so many readers, and it can get overwhelming. And once you're overwhelmed by the number of readers you have, you might make corrections you shouldn't make and avoid the ones you should make. For me, my sweet spot is 5 beta readers. That way I have variety and the likelihood of everyone canceling is little. So if I can sort out my beta readers and only 2 cancel, I'm still left with up to 3 opinions. But standard, I have 5 beta readers and I don't feel overwhelmed when I work with all 5 of them. Number 7, What should you know about your beta readers? You want to make sure you get the right beta readers for your manuscripts, so you have to ask the right questions. First, you have to make sure your beta readers are in the right age group you require. If your readers are going to be between the age of 13 to 16, you don't want the opinions of people in their 30s or 40s, because even though they can critique your book, they can't give you a mirrored response of your future readers. You also have to know what genre your readers like, because you can't give a beta reader gore when they can't handle gore. Imagine someone who gets squeamish at the sound or mention of blood having to read horror, thriller, crime, or dark fantasy. They just won't give you a positive critique, and you can't give someone who's anti-romance a chick lit to read. Next, you have to know how long it takes your beta reader to read a book, because you don't want someone who reads a book in the span of a month to critique your book if you're going for a week or 2 weeks. Then you have to know if they beta read before or not. It doesn't matter if your beta reader is experienced or inexperienced, anyone can beta read as far as they read. But knowing where they stand can help you navigate it better. You know when to explain and when not to explain, and you know what they know and what they don't know, and you just have a better understanding of who this person is as a beta reader for you. You also have to make sure they really have the time to commit to your book. These people have lives too, and you're not paying them, so of course they would have other commitments. But knowing what these commitments are when they can tell you, or if you to take away from your time, would help you avoid any disappointments along the line. You should also get a bit personal with them, but not intrusive. Learn what your beta reader likes and what your beta reader doesn't like. That could influence how they are reacting to your book, and also forming that bond with them would make the process flow better. Of course, if they don't want to form that kind of relationship with you, that's completely fine. You don't have to be friends with all your beta readers or get to know about their personal lives. Don't be creepy. Number 8. What should you expect from a beta reader? Well, you should expect they're going to tell you what they think of your book, good or bad. So if you can't handle that, I'm sorry, you need to learn. You should also expect that they're going to be human. You can't expect them to react perfectly to every single situation. But keeping that in mind, let's move on to number 9. What to avoid when beta reading. As much as you can't expect perfection from your beta readers, there are some things you should just avoid altogether if you want your beta reading process to go well. First, avoid a beta reader who doesn't stick to schedules. As a writer, your schedule is very important. So if a beta reader can't stick to your schedule, you should probably not be working with that beta reader. If you have a chapter given that you expect to be critiqued in 2 days and it take a few days longer than that, you can send a gentle reminder. But if they keep procrastinating at every opportunity, it's time for you to move on. Next, you should avoid a short answer beta reader. If they leave short answers, like 3-word answers, they probably aren't helping you. Like, how much can you get from answers like, I hated it, I loved it, it was good, this character sucked? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. But you don't want a beta reader who feels the need to complain about every single thing. Like, why is your MC female? Or why is her hair like this? Or why was the story written in third person? But be careful though. If a lot of beta readers are complaining about the same thing that seems insignificant to you, you should probably give it a second look. You should also avoid beta readers who only have good things to say about your book. I don't know if there are any writers out there who have only ever had good reviews, but don't expect that to be you. The beta reading process is the time to weed out all your mistakes or things you can improve on. So take advantage of that and find people who actually would look at your book properly and give you real critiques. Anyone only giving you positive reviews might be trying to be nice to you, but at the end of the day, they are not helping you. Number 10, what should you beta read? This means what parts of the book should you get opinions on. You can get opinions on every single aspect of the book, but I'd advise you to avoid opinions on grammar except where confusing. That's the job for the editor. And your beta reader, even in my experience, might not understand the best usage of grammar. So their opinions on grammar should not be your priority. And that's also the stage where you might still have typos and punctuation errors, so that should not be something to prioritize on. Questions you should ask should be questions relating to the story itself, like where did they get bored? What place was too slow? What place seemed unnecessary? What character did they like? What character did they hate? Was there character development? And so on. Number 11. How should you schedule your beta reads? It's all up to you as a writer to decide if you want to give your beta readers on a chapter by chapter basis, or divide your book into 4, or give them the whole book. And it's all up to you to decide if you want your book critiqued in a span of a week or a span of a month or 2. When you give your readers your book on a chapter by chapter basis, they don't get overwhelmed by it, and they can focus on each chapter and give you a full critique on each section. But the problems with this is it takes way longer to get through a book when you give your beta readers on a chapter by chapter basis, because you have to wait for a review on a chapter to be done, then collect opinions, go through them before giving them the second chapter of your book. Then with giving your book as a whole, it's good because they can go through it faster and they can look at it like other readers would look at your book, without having to break so much to talk to you about problems, then go back and read again, then talk to you about problems. But the disadvantage with this is that having to read the whole book at once and leave reviews on everything can be overwhelming, and some beta readers will just not end up doing it. But no matter what schedule you choose, you definitely don't want to give your beta reader your full manuscript at the first go. You should always send a chapter or 2 or 3 as sample critique chapters. That way you can see how they interact with your book before giving them the whole thing. Because no matter how much you get to know them, if you don't do this first and you give them your whole manuscript, you could wait a month, and when you get your manuscript back, you're left with one-worded reviews, which would not help you after waiting for a whole month. So that's all I have for you today. Despite the length of the video, this is actually a summary on the beta reading process. There's still a lot more parts to look on, and I hope that I'll be able to share that with you and also share with you my personal beta reading experience. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and also share this video with your friends, other writers and readers you know, and follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Chio_. I post every day on those platforms. See you next time. Bye.